Hello, Sunshine Stamper here today, and I am going to do an unboxing review of the Swatchdex by Sarah Renee Clark. I purchased these, I actually purchased them when they first came out, and swatching is kind of a big deal to me. I do a lot of card making, and I do a lot of ink blending. So originally I bought these as a solution for inks that I have. I needed, something that where I could easily compare inks, different colors from different brands, different colors between the same brand, etc., etc. So I bought these as kind of a solution for my stamping, and I use them for my colored pencils. I have not swatched my paint yet on them. We'll see how that goes. I might give that a try, and maybe I'll even make a video of my attempt to do that. But anyways, it comes nicely packaged. It comes in this outer box. Keeps everything safe, secure, keeps things from getting dented, which is really nice if you're going to put this in your craft room or your art studio and kind of show it off, because it is a nice box. It comes protected, which is nice. I like that level of care and thought that's given to these. So it comes in here. So this is when I bought this, it was $29.95, and I think you get a discount if you buy more than one. It comes in this heavy box. I'm not sure. I think it's made out of wood. I can't make any promises. I'm not the manufacturer. I don't know. I'm just a consumer of these. It feels like wood. It's got this cat fur on it already. It's got a cool little triangle design on it. It's very aesthetically pleasing, very nice looking, very sturdy. It's not one of those things that feels like it's going to crumble right away. Just really well made and pleasing to look at. I really like how her products are nice to look at. It makes you feel good, and sometimes, looking at something nice, it helps you be more creative, because it kind of gets you in that mood. So they come in a drawer. This is the 4-pack, and this is velvety. This would drive my daughter nuts. My daughter hates the texture of velvet, but they come nice and snug in this velvety thing, nice and protected. It looks really nice. They fit right in there, and it slides in and out pretty easily. And for the $29.95, at least right now, that's the current price, you get this, and you get the 4 Swatchdexes inside. And I will tell you, I find that kind of confusing, because when I look on the website, like if I just wanted to buy one of these, I think it's $9.95 for one of these little Swatchdexes, whereas for $29.95 I get 4 and a container. I find that to be kind of confusing. But anyways, back to our review. So, they're nice. They fit in there nicely. Again, slides in and out. This box, it is a nice size. I don't know if I have, let's see if I have a ruler here. I have a ruler here. This is a 12-inch scrapbooking ruler, so you can see it's a little more than 12 inches by about 10 inches. It's a nice size. And then the other thing to remember when you're looking for a spot for this, if you're going to put it on your craft desk, not only do you need a spot for the box, but you have to be able to pull this out to get to your swatches. And that's going to lead to the next part of our review. I don't use my boxes. I bought several of them because I needed a lot of swatches. I don't use any of these boxes. My solution is actually not very elegant at all. And then the other thing I don't use, you see how these have that, they're designed to swatch out like this. This one I haven't torn apart yet, but I don't like how they fan out so flat. I don't like that. So let's put this aside, and I will show you how I have torn my Swatchdex apart in my rather inelegant solution for storage. All right, so like I said, I use a lot of swatches. I've swatched my Concord and Ninth inks using the Swatchdex, and I've swatched my VersaFine inks, and I've started on some of my colored pencils. And these are my Pink Fresh inks, and this is just how it works for me. I like it better when I could flip through and I could be like, okay, got blue and blue. I don't like trying to slide it out, and I like being able to flip next to it, because then I could also, it makes it easier for me to compare amongst the same brand too. I don't know, just for me, putting them on the binder rings, that is what works. I keep them in this big bin. That is what works for me. and that's just how I prefer to do things. When you buy them, they will come, and you could just take a little screwdriver. I was actually able to use my nails and just, like you can see, I'm loosening it like that. You might not even need a screwdriver. So I take them off that, I put them on the binder rings. In the big swatch basket they go. Despite not using the storage, despite putting them on binder rings, I think they're still a good buy, and I have actually put in an order for some more. I like them because they're so uniform, and the paper is always the same. So I try to use similar stamps when I'm swatching, so I can make very good comparisons between my two brands. And I could see right off the bat, okay, these colors are going to go together, these colors are not going to go together, and just make good comparisons when looking for colors. And I just like flipping through them like this. I like being able to put, the sheets next to each other. I just don't have room on my desk for the boxes. Excuse me, especially with having to have room to pull the tray out of the box. It just doesn't work for me, but they're still really, really nice boxes. And I just love the cards. I wish I could buy 4 sets of cards for the $30 and not get the box. I don't know what I'm going to do with my extra boxes. There might be a way to repurpose them. I haven't put that much thought into it yet, but I just, like being able to do this and say, hey, I have this Concord 9th color. Is it similar to this Pink Fresh color, which some of them are? I'll probably make a video where I talk about which colors seem to be dead on the same versus ones that are just very similar. But again, the ring, that's what works for me. And when I swatch my paints, or my inks differently than I will swatch my paint and my colored pencils. When I make these swatches, and I'll probably make a video and talk about this process. Because ink shows up differently when you use it in different ways, I tried to do it in a variety of different ways. Like first, I used a Sharpie fine point marker to put the name on each card, so I know it's Concord 9th Eggplant. I tried to use one small stamp. I did some ink blending, tried to do, it's hard to do a gradient on a small spot, but I tried to do a little bit of a gradient, some light ink blending to darker ink blending. I used a stencil so I could see what it looks like through a stencil design. I used a stamp that had bold letters so I could see what it looks like in a bold letter stamp. I used fine letters so I could see what it looks like in fine letters too, because sometimes your different color inks, you're going to look at it like this and you're going to think, I prefer, actually if I'm going to do the fine print, I'd rather do a lighter purple. So I did that so I could see the different ways it looks. And then finally I had spots, so I put a heart there, just another variation of what the ink looks like. And then a solid stamp to see what it looks like solid stamped. And I think that's very helpful. So these were the first ones I swatched, and I did these right when the color cube first came out. In the past 2 months, I did another round of swatching, and I did my Pink Fresh inks and my VersaFine inks. With my VersaFine inks, I did not do the stencil, I did not do the ink blending, just because these are pigment inks, and I don't tend to use my pigment inks for that. It's just too messy for me. For my pigment inks, these are more things where I am probably going to heat emboss and use embossing powder over it, or it's a sentiment that I really need to stand out, because you could tell the pigment, holding up to the camera, I don't know if you can see very well, the pigment looks different. So it also shows you that the Swatchdex cards here, I'm using different inks and I'm getting great results. I'm getting consistent results. I'm getting something that I could really compare together. And that's what I reach for. I reach for these all the time. I'm constantly using them. And I've just started my journey of swatching out some colored pencils. I started with my ChromaFlows. I'm working through my big tin of ChromaFlows. And again, just excellent for swatching. And here we're swatching 2 different mediums, and it works for the different mediums too. I really like that. This one, when I get done with it, I will take it off of this, and then I will put it on the ring like my others, and it'll just be so nice. So these are ChromaFlow pencils. These are not watercolor pencils. Excuse me, I plan on doing my watercolor pencils next. I'll probably make a video of that. We'll see how it comes out with the watercolor pencils, but I'm trying to finish up this set first, and then I will move on. So overall, my verdict is 100% worth it. like I said, I put another order in. I'm buying more. Love them. So convenient. Love just being able to pull it out, thumb through. Definitely have a method to your madness when you're swatching. So you don't, start one way and then realize later, oh, I should have added this too, and now my cards are awful. So I would put some thought into what you use your supplies for, and then swatch it in a way that makes sense for how you use your things. And I do wish that we could buy the cards for the cheaper price without the drawer. And I don't know, maybe I'm like totally misunderstanding something. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. But when I look on the website, I see this single pack, which would look like this, for $9.99, or the entire drawer set, this drawer set, for $29.95. And then you buy multiples. I think if you buy more than 3 or more than 5, they're even cheaper. So I would much rather just buy these 4 for the cheaper price versus get the container too. Hopefully in the future she has an option like that for those of us where this storage just doesn't work. I mean, it's a really nice drawer, and I don't know how easily, I don't want to mess with it too much right now live, but I don't know how easily it's going to be to pull this out and try to reuse this for something else. I think these will, I don't know if these would fit in the IKEA Collapse. I will try and I'll leave a comment. I do know these will fit in my Michaels storage shelves with a little bit of space left over. So you could build a drawer system on the Michaels storage shelves at least, and maybe take the foam out and repurpose these. Or, if you're a neat, tidy person and you keep them on this, you could definitely keep using this and just put it on your storage shelf. But again, the way I use it, even with like the small little loop, it just doesn't work. So I've just used my basket instead. Anyway, so that is my product review of the Swatchdex decks. I love the cards. The storage, it's nice. It's pretty to look at. It's very well made. It just doesn't work for my space. It's not a negative on Swatchdex. It's just, it doesn't work for my space. I don't have that desk space where I would be able to, keep this on my desk and have enough room to pull something in and out, because, that you got to pull it fairly far out to get your stuff to. It just doesn't work for me, but it's still really pretty. I love the design. It feels clean. It feels sleek. It's just nice. It's nice. It's one of those things that make you feel nice. So I will definitely be, again, I just put an order in for more of the cards. Well, actually more of the Swatchdex system, because it's cheaper than buying the cards separate. And I'm sure I'll buy more in the future as I go through and try to swatch all the colored pencils I own, all my markers, all my paint. So I'm very much in the beginning of my swatching journey here. I've used other methods before, and this is definitely the best. Like, I'll show you one of the other ones. This one, I haven't converted all of these yet, but like my Altenew inks, I use this all the time too. And this is just printables from their website that I stamped, and then I ring them together. But again, you could see like see how these corners are all roughed up and they're already like fraying, and definitely showing a lot of wear. And this is something I've done within the last year. These aren't even a year old for these swatches, whereas these, the paper is so much nicer, and it just holds up better already. I can already tell that it holds up better. I just like it better. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know. If you like my video, thumbs up is always appreciated. I will be posting more videos about swatching. I do a lot of card making, but I also do a lot of work with colored pencils, paints. I like to color, so I'll be putting up more videos related to that. So please feel free to subscribe. Have you bought the Swatchdex? What is your experience with it? Did you notice the weird pricing on the website? Am I getting something wrong? Like, am I not understanding the pricing, where it doesn't seem logical that this entire system is cheaper than 4 of these? So if I'm misunderstanding something, please let me know. I'm happy to hear from you, and thank you for watching.